if we get it right, the strategy that you alluded to, we'll have nearly 4.5 million fewer sick days every year. So there's your growth. We'll have almost 2 million freed up GP appointments. So there's your NHS support. It will allow households to save up to £1,700 because they're not compelled to have a second car, prevent 2,500 premature deaths, and all of that rolled together is an economic boost of 115 billion. So there's the stats. And I think if I told you that I had a product that could deliver those outcomes, you'd be expecting a pretty meaty investment over many, many years. And that's the exciting thing about this. To get that to happen, we need 5.3 million more people to be active. What needs to be true to get that outcome is they have to have easy access to health, which is why we're all sort of here on this webinar and why we've all ended up in the same space. So sport and leisure, my other part of my job that you mentioned, really important. It has a part to play, but it's not going to produce all of those results, not even close, frankly. It is our environment that makes the difference. Now, a couple of stats you already know: 1 in 4 journeys in this country are under a mile, 7 in 10 are less than 5. So a lot of that is the school run, getting to the pharmacy, commute to the station, all of that kind of good stuff. So it's not whether people are choosing to do it. A lot of the time, it's whether they actually have a genuine choice. So hence we're coming back to creating that landscape. Now, excitingly, and I think it's excitingly, you could say frustratingly, we don't need to theorize about this. We already know how to do it. And the reason I mentioned Andy at the start, of course, because I was his transport commissioner. We helped set up the B network, got that going. And in the space, and this is a really important bit, in the space of less than one parliament, because that's important when you need to get things done, they've already seen enough network put in place to start moving the dial quite dramatically. So between 2022 and 2024, they've got a 58%, yes, you heard me right, 58% increase in cycling trips, and a 23% increase in walking trips where that network's in. And probably importantly, to get more support from within the system, 72% of people who live in the region said it helps me to connect to other forms of transport as well. So suddenly, the people who are in charge of buses and trams and trains and all of those big sum investments have got a reason. They want a steady customer supply. This is how we get it. Now, the school run is about 10% of peak traffic for journeys. It's even more in big cities. So I think in Greater Manchester, when I came in, there was 250 million car journeys a year, less than 1 mile. Because parents, not because they love sitting in traffic, because they didn't feel they have a realistic alternative. So that's why we started the B Network. B Network itself is nothing new. You've got Kesgrave just outside Ipswich, got 63% of kids riding to school because they just happen to have the right network in place. You've got Cambridge, you've got your area, Oxford, Waltham Forest in London. We've got pockets of this. It's already happening. So this is just about scale up, really. You mentioned behaviour change, William, and your work. The reason we've become very close is you've been able to demonstrably make a difference, even without infrastructure. But where it really works, if we put those two things together, there will have been talk in the last hour about devolution and the power of metromers and giving them more powers, etc. Well, to a degree, and no false modesty here, active travelling was a bit ahead of the game. And we convened the metromers in 2025 and said, what are you doing around schools? What actually are you doing there? And what would you like to do? And what extra powers might you need? And then we took all of that and aggregated it, and it came out as a 3,500 mile safe school network that they all committed to deliver at a gathering with the Chief Medical Officer, Chris Whitty, who totally gets this. And that was mayors across the political spectrum. So Andrea Jenkins, Luke Campbell, Reform, Labour, Conservative, they all signed to do that because this is a people thing as opposed to a politics thing. And it was something they could align around. Schools specifically because it's those journeys and with children involved, the noise goes down. It is lots of simple stuffs. We have got a commitment to legislate now to put things like simple side road zebra stripes across the mouth of side roads, which massively increases safety. Cars stop about 75% more, no increase in danger. We intend to do 10,000 of those before 2030, and help make those safe school networks and make the difference between I'll run you to school and we'll go on walk with your mates, but make sure the cars stop. Real practical stuff. So this is stuff I think that makes a big difference. And the irony I'd like to finish on is this is also the plan for drivers, because if more people are enabled to do those short journeys by other means, it frees up road space for those who actually need to drive. So it is a beautiful gift that keeps on giving, really. It's small stuff that when aggregated, the small becomes mighty, if you like. We already know how to do it. So now we need to just get on and do it.